All right, hello out there. Good to see you all again. I want to talk to you a little bit about quantum multiple worlds theory. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so this is a starting point for what should we say, a quantum particle or a human life. Doesn't really matter because I realized there's some remarkable similarities. So if you first think about it as a quantum particle that, say, goes through a double slit or is shot at a double slit, it acts like a wave and it spreads out. The possibilities of where it ends up spreads out until when it hits the wall or measurement device, it seems to pick one spot in the possibility spectrum, and it is measured there. Okay, so here's a look at a spectrum of human narratives, human identities. Here you have a human on the left, and what you have here are different narrative sort of lines down here. So let's suppose let's suppose this person has 8 friends, and each one has a identity, believes this person is a certain type of person, and they have a certain judgment about them. That judgment, that story they have about this person is a narrative. One person might think this person's a
Calling the meeting to order at 3:33. This is Jefferson County Public Hospital District Number 2 Board of Commissioners meeting, and Commissioner Bueller is excused. And could I ask you what is in front of you? Are you recording this meeting?
Yeah, I'm making an audio recording of this meeting to help me remember what has happened.
Okay. Actually, that sounds like a good opening for a discussion about doing something like that. One of the concerns with the Open Public Meetings Act, as it is being recorded, and the Public Hospital District is responsible for safekeeping, and so it can all be accessed. Maybe this is something that you want to step in at this time.
Yeah, I think that I believe there was going to be a discussion at tonight's meeting about recording board meetings, which I think is a reasonable thing to discuss. There are implications associated with recording board meetings. That recordings become part of the record and is also part of the Open Public Meeting Act and Records Act. So a recording provided by a hospital recording for the purpose of records has to be disclosed when requested, and any recording by a board member, according to council, would be considered that official record. So I think what the discussion tonight was going to go along the lines of discussing it at the board level, and then if the board is interested in pursuing that, to direct administration to develop a policy, a procedure, and a methodology to make sure that we do it correctly. It's in line with our Record Retention Act and Open Public Meeting Response team, and we do it right. So I think the recommendation from council is that absent of the hospital doing it, that a board member should not.
Well, based on my research, I don't think that's accurate. I mean, this is a public meeting. Citizens have a certain right to record these meetings. I don't surrender that right because I'm a commissioner, just like we each have the right to vote. You know, we have certain rights, the right to breathe, have the right to take notes. I don't think I would disagree with that assessment of what is legal, or that this constitutes a board act. This is an act as a private citizen.
Well, it might be an act of a private citizen, but because you are a board member, just like the notes you take at a board meeting, they are subject to the Open Public Record Act. So that any tape that you record is also subject to that act. So it becomes part of the record. And it's the recommendation from council, looking after the interest of the organization, that if Jefferson Healthcare begins to record our meetings, that it be done through administration, so that we have the tape, we have the record, we can properly store it, and we can respond to any open public meeting requests that may come down the pipe. Because it's a big thing. Some hospitals do indeed record their meetings, and it adds another layer of complexity to responding to open public record requests. So I think the ask, or I think the discussion with the rest of the board is this something that we want to pursue? And then secondly, if we are going to do it right. And council, I don't think anyone is suggesting as an individual citizen, you don't have the right to make the recording, but as a board member, council for Jefferson Healthcare is recommending you don't. In the interest of the organization and all of the implications.
Is the council recommending we not record meetings?
That until we have a policy and a procedure to make sure we can manage that recording in compliance with the Open Public Record Act, that we don't do it, because it's discretionary. Organizations don't have to do it. And further, what I think was going to happen, Matt, was that there was going to be a discussion with the other members of the board to decide if that indeed is the direction that they were going to give administration.
Well, I appreciate the recommendation of council, but I'm going to continue recording the meeting. I think it's a perfectly appropriate decision. I would completely support the board if we wanted to officially do it, and I'm happy to give. If you feel like you need a copy and to store for 7 years, I'm happy to provide that.
Well, it's not like I feel like it, that the law would require it. And the recommendation from council is that if a recording is made on behalf of the organization, and as a commissioner you would be making it on behalf of the organization, that we have our own recording.
So I will recess this board meeting at 3:39 to see if we can locate recording, some recording device, and if not, we will just have to schedule a special meeting.
All right.
Thank you.
So.
So, just so
We're
you know,
not going to record the meeting, Matt.
I'm recording it.
No, we're not.
Well, it's not in our policy, is it?
Wait, is this an official meeting?
It's an official board meeting, but our policy states that we record when we're in our normal board situation, board meeting room at the hospital.
Well, there's nothing that prohibits Matt from recording it. So
Yes, there is. It makes it official record.
it should be an official record if it's an official meeting.
Well, there is a legal opinion that recommends to not do this, actually, but we talked about that. And you're right.
I guess that's before my time. So.
Yeah.
So you
When is it? We're just not being difficult.
You still recording?
I am recording the meeting.
Okay. See you guys later. Let me know he turns it off. All right. This is a little counterproductive. Do you really want to do this, Matt? Is this your line in the sand?